Look, I'm going to tell you a secret that nobody taught you in school, and that your best friend probably doesn't know either. You know that person you keep looking at from afar, thinking, wow, it would be amazing to have a conversation with them. But then you freeze. You're like a robot with a dead battery, not knowing what to say. Well, the good news is that the problem isn't that you're boring. The problem is that you're asking the wrong questions. And before you think, oh, here comes another idiotic piece of advice from an internet coach, hold on, I promise this is different. Because look, everyone says be yourself, be confident, but no one gives you an instruction manual on how to actually do that, right? It's like handing you a Rubik's Cube and saying, just solve it. Great, thanks for the tip, genius. So let's go, let's solve this together. And I guarantee these 7 questions will act like sparks in a bonfire. Except instead of fire, what will ignite is such a good conversation that she'll want to stay close to you. And the best part, without having to pretend to be someone you're not. But first, let me explain something fundamental to you. Do you know the biggest mistake people make when they want to win someone over? They ask questions like police interrogations. What do you do for a living? Where do you live? Do you have siblings? My friend, that's an HR form, not a conversation. The person on the other end just sits there answering on autopilot thinking, when will this end? Spark questions are different. They don't ask for information. They ask for emotion. They don't investigate data. They reveal dreams. And look, I'll be honest with you, when you ask a question that stirs someone's emotions, you're not just having a conversation, you're creating a memory. And memory is instant connection. First spark question, and this one is pure gold. If you could wake up tomorrow with a completely new skill, what would it be? Look at the beauty of this. You're not asking what do you do, you're asking who do you want to be? It's a huge difference. Because then she won't answer you with her job, her college. She'll tell you about her secret dreams. Maybe she wants to play the piano or speak fluent Japanese, or be a parkour ninja. And man, when she tells you that, her eyes light up, because you just gave her permission to dream big for 30 seconds. And you know what's even cooler? You discover a lot about her personality. If she says, I wish I knew how to cook amazing dishes, you already know she values experiences and might be generous. If she says, I wish I knew how to program, you're talking to someone who likes to create and solve problems. It's like having an X-ray of her personality, but without being invasive. Second spark. What was the last thing that made you laugh so hard you cried? Ah, this one is pure magic, because first, you're asking her to relive a happy moment. And when people remember happy moments, they feel that happiness again. Second, laughter is contagious. She'll start laughing while telling the story, you'll laugh along, and that's it. You already have a lighthearted vibe going on, and there's more. This question shows that you're not one of those super serious and boring guys who only wants to talk about investments and cryptocurrencies all the time. You're someone who values the lightness of life. Who knows that a good laugh is worth more than 1,000 conversations about work? Furthermore, humor is very personal. When she shares what made her laugh, she's showing a little bit of her vulnerability. And vulnerability, my friend, is the shortest path to intimacy. But without forcing anything, it's natural, it's organic, it's perfect. Third spark question, if you could have dinner with anyone, living or dead, who would it be and what would you ask them? This one is powerful because it goes deep. You discover her values, her idols, what inspires her. If she chooses her deceased grandmother, you're talking to someone who values family and memories. If she chooses a mad scientist like Einstein, you found a curious mind. If it's an artist, it's someone who connects with creativity and expression. And here's something interesting. The second part of the question is just as important as the first. What would you ask? Reveals what she's looking for in life. Wisdom, practical advice, funny stories. It's like having access to her deepest wish list. Oh, and as a bonus, after she replies, you can share your response. Then you two are on such a different level of conversation that it feels like you've known each other for years. Pure magic. Notice how up until now, we haven't asked any obvious questions. Nothing like, what do you study? Nothing like, do you live nearby? Because those lukewarm questions, my friend, they don't generate a spark. They generate boredom, and boredom is the silent killer of attraction. The secret to spark questions is that they make the person feel seen, not like just another face in the crowd, but like someone interesting, unique, special. And guess what? When you make someone feel special, that person wants to spend more time with you. It's basic behavioral science disguised as casual conversation. Fourth spark. What's that place you've always wanted to visit but for some reason haven't been yet? Whoa, now you've entered the territory of postponed dreams. And you know why that's so good? Because most people have a mental list of dream places. It could be Paris. It could be that waterfall in the countryside. It could be that unique restaurant on the other side of town. What matters is that you're asking about aspirations. And here comes the masterstroke. When she tells you about the place, you ask, what attracts you to this place? There you go. You've transformed a question about geography into a conversation about what moves her inside. Maybe she wants Paris not for the Eiffel Tower, but because she dreams of breakfast in charming bistros. Or maybe she wants the waterfall because she needs peace and nature. Each answer is a window into her soul. And if you're lucky, you might even get a "we could go together someday" kind of conversation. Subtle, but it plants the seed of a possible future adventure. Clever, right? Fifth spark question. What was the best part of your day today? This one seems simple, but it's a bomb of positivity because you're making her focus on what went right. We live in a world where people only complain. Oh, the traffic. Oh, the boss. Oh, the heat. Blah, blah, blah. When you arrive and ask about the best part of the day, you break that pattern. And do you know what happens in her brain when she responds like that? Her brain releases dopamine. She relives that good moment and automatically associates that good feeling with you. It's like you becoming the person who brings light to the conversation. And everyone wants to be around someone who brings light. Furthermore, her answers will surprise you. Maybe she'll say, the coffee was perfect this morning. How precious. You've just discovered that she values small pleasures. Or maybe she'll say, I managed to finish that project. Then you know she's accomplished and determined. It's valuable information disguised as lighthearted conversation. Sixth spark. If money were no object, what would you be doing with your life right now? Boom, this one goes straight to the heart of her wildest dreams, because we spend our whole lives making concessions, being realistic, choosing the safe path. But when you take money out of the equation, then the truest desires appear. She might tell you she'd run an animal rescue NGO, or that she'd be a full-time artist, or that she'd be traveling the world. Each answer reveals what really matters to her when no one's judging, when she has no bills to pay, when it's just her and her dreams. And you become that rare person who cares about her most authentic self. Not her resume, not her car, not her apartment, her essence. And that, my dear, that's so rare these days that when it happens, it's unforgettable. Seventh and final spark question. What makes you feel most alive? Okay, we've reached the climax. This question is profound without being heavy, intimate without being invasive, because you're asking about what ignites her inner fire. It could be dancing until sunrise. It could be a good conversation in the early hours of the morning. It could be surfing on an empty beach. It could be creating something with her own hands. What matters is that her answer will reveal her intensity, her passion, what makes her heart beat faster. And when someone shares that with you, man, you're no longer a stranger. You're someone she's confided a precious secret to. So to recap, because I know you're eager to try this, we have 7 spark questions that transform "Hi, how are you?" into memorable conversations. Questions about dream skills, genuine laughter, impossible dinners, unexplored places, good moments of the day, alternative lifestyles, and what ignites the inner flame. And look, I'll tell you something important. These questions aren't magic formulas. They won't make someone fall in love with you instantly, but they will set you apart from everyone else who just asks questions automatically. They will create a real connection, and connection is what makes someone think about you when you're not around. So next time you want to win over that special someone, forget the what's their sign and go straight for the sparks. Because while everyone else is talking about the weather forecast, you'll be discovering their dreams, their laughter, their fears, and their passions. And when they realize you care about who they really are, my friend, then you don't need to get close anymore. They'll want to be close themselves. And what if you still freeze up at the crucial moment? Take a deep breath, smile, and remember, you don't need to be perfect. You just need to be genuine. Because in the end, people don't approach perfection. They approach truth. And these 7 questions, they are shortcuts to the truth. Now go ahead and ignite those sparks. And don't forget, every conversation is an opportunity to create something special. So tell me in the comments, which of these questions are you gonna try first? I bet you can't wait. And you know what? I can't wait to hear how it went either. Now it's up to you. Good luck, and may the unforgettable conversations begin.